So I'm here with Lawrence Okolie. A tumultuous time for you in the last 5 or 6 months of your career. If I can outline what I know is that you are at an impasse at the moment and you're not quite sure about who you're going to be fighting next and where. And there's quite a lot of background to this with promotional stuff, really, Lawrence.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more clarity on who I'm fighting, because the WBO just called a mandatory against a guy called David Light, 20-0 Australian, good fighter, good boxer, just coming off of a good win. And that's like the second undefeated fighter that he's boxed now. So he's in good form and going to be feeling very confident. So all eyes on Light. But now there's the purse bid.
Where and when?
Well, that depends on who wins the purse bid. So right now it goes up, whoever bids the most money gets the fight, and I'll box either on whoever wins. But it has to be within 90 days.
Yeah, where do you expect that to be? Is that a UK fight? Is it and you don't know the platform yet?
Yeah, I'm not sure. To be 100% honest with you, I'm not sure because anyone can win it. Like a dark horse can come in and bid and would have to box anywhere. So I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I have my thoughts here and there who I think is going to bid the most, but I guess I'll have to find out with everyone.
Where would you like to fight then, and on which platform?
Really, whichever one pays the most. Obviously, I'm a British fighter, so I'd obviously like it to be in Britain. So either Eddie and Matchroom, Frank and Queensbury, or Ben and Boxer. Those
so all your options
three top
open,
ones.
basically.
Yeah, whoever says I'm going to go into this pocket and get some cash out is going to get the fight. Like I don't really mind who.
I mean, it's an open secret now that, I mean, everybody knows about it in boxing, that you and Eddie Hearn have had your troubles over the last few months. What can you tell us that doesn't kind of intervene on what's going on at the moment? What can you tell us in terms of why you and Hearn and Matchroom have perhaps fallen out?
I think you could just ask any question. I'll just answer if it's possible. But in terms of just an overview, there was a dispute, as it were, as to when my contract would end or if there was an extra fight. Obviously, I can go into more detail now, thank goodness. But that's really it.
So there were contractual issues.
The long and short of it is, I fulfilled all my contractual obligations. It was done, cold hard fact. When it did come to an end, me and my former management let Eddie know, let Matchroom know. They all agreed. We started negotiating towards a new deal. And when, their offers were not making sense, lining up to unifications, they didn't really seem to have an appetite as the same as mine in terms of a roadmap. It was just very wishy-washy. And then, as you finish your contract, you finish your time, you're negotiating. It's like, okay, cool. Well, thank you for your offer. I'm going to go elsewhere and see what everyone else has to say. So I approached different promoters, got deals, came back to Eddie and Matchroom, said, hey guys, this is where we've got to. I've got some offers here that say this. Try and match it, like close enough, and we can work. And that's when the dispute happened, because it became.
Yeah, can I ask? You can verify this.
Of course, yeah.
I had heard in the boxing world that you'd been asked for 500 grand to get out of your contract. Is there any truth in that?
Oh no, it's a fact. It's a cold hard fact. It was like Eddie on the phone a couple of times expressed it. Just basically what happened is he saw the new deal that I got, saw the numbers that were attached to it, and then said, after the fact that we negotiated, said, nope, if you want to sign this pretty new deal, 500 grand is going to cost you like $500,000. And like, of course, I'm a boxer and I'm blessed to, have got to this level, but it's like, to ask someone for that kind of money, it's just like, it just felt like a slap in the face. It felt like
you've put things out on social media, then you've taken them down sometimes. I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
I know you've got an extraordinary story. It's inspired by
Yeah.
2012. Anthony Joshua, you were a big 300-pound guy working McDonald's. You've been an inspirational figure. I've relayed this whole journey in this narrative.
Yeah.
And is it true to say that over the last few months, it's actually been mentally and emotionally taxing for you, and it's been very difficult in terms of you maybe even feeling bullied in
Yeah.
who you are?
No, I've known what it is to be bullied, and this is the first time I felt it as an adult. I think there's been extreme low points. Of course, I've got a good team around me, but definitely, when you're hit with like stuff that says you can't speak out, and then you happen to watch someone who's asked you for £500,000, who's been unreasonable and kind of try to bully you, also, assassinate your character, to the point where my own mother called me because she didn't know what was going on and said, "Lawrence, what's going on? You have one fight left. Why are you doing this to Eddie? Whatever." And then I had to explain to her even what's gone on. So it's like, for me, of course, I try to be strong and remember I'm a boxer and the most important thing is fighting. But just generally as a person, it's just like to actually like have this happen. It's like, and I hear of boxers talking about this when they've taken a loss. No one cares, no one's there. But then to have it while I'm on top as a world champion, simply because I'm doing, the morally right thing and the best thing for my career and for my family.
Well, it sounds like
to
you're
kind of
standing
be
up
hit
for
with all of this
yourself.
stuff.
It sounds like you're standing up for yourself. At the end of the day, you're the guy in the ring.
and that's the bottom line. It's like, of course, I'm a boxer, I'm a man, and it's like I've been bullied, and I know when it comes to bullying, the moment you allow them to strong arm you into a position, yeah, well, if you don't, I'm going to spin this narrative. Like some of the stuff that Eddie has said to me on the phone, like clear as day. Thank good. Like I don't want to go into that side in terms of the legal position, but in terms of stuff he said on the phone, about spinning a narrative, about him and his dad taking stuff extremely personal, and the various other stuff that they're going to do. But for me, I just always try to maintain with myself, keep it professional. It's just business. As much as these guys are bullying, are putting me through hell, just maintain your dignity. There's been a couple of times where I've let it slip, or a time where I let it slip, back in July, where I was feeling extremely frustrated, and like I said, like no one had my back, and there was nothing I could do. I just felt helpless. So that was me just lashing out. But then, yeah. Anyway, man, it's just like I said, it's been a really tough time, and fortunately, I've had good people around that have kind of helped me through it.
So, to bring it up to the present, so you're not in a contract with anyone at the moment, no?
Agreed. Yeah. So on that one, absolutely not. I've got legal correspondence, I've got emails, I've got letters from Matchroom and their lawyers explicitly saying there is no fight left. The contract is over.
Okay.
From months ago. But then obviously for Eddie, it makes sense to keep spinning that narrative because it sounds good, it feels good. He likes to be in the camera saying stuff that makes people say, "Oh, mate, poor Eddie." But the reality is they know that I can't show that stuff until a particular time. So he can say whatever he wants and then put legals on me to say, you can't speak out, because he's got so much money and he's the owner of this huge business. They've got lawyers in-house that can just keep everything quiet. But anytime I want to say something, if I want to send a legal letter to Eddie to say, stop doing this, like, it's not fair, it's a lie, it costs me money. And not only that, his lawyers are just going to see it, tear it up and throw it away. Go on, Eddie, carry on. If I do something like that, I get sued, I get hit with this, and there's penalties. But and that all just
giving interviews in the last few days. You're clearly at a point where you are finding some kind of resolution in that. Do you expect to be out in the first half of next year, basically defending your world title?
Yeah, no, I expect it to be within the next 90 or so days. Purse bid's been ordered by the WBO, so they have from when it gets whoever wins it, it's 3 months to put the fight on. So I'll definitely be out in that period, and then I could just look forward to just getting over this period. No matter how hard it's been, I just had to keep myself focused, knowing that it's all going to be okay.
And then unifying in 2023?
That's the aim. you know, that's the aim. That's what it's always been. Ever since I won the world title, I've just felt like, you know, winning a world title is amazing, the legacy, but I just think that it's important to just go up against other champions and just see. Like I want to push it as far as I can. I always have, and I always will. Like no matter what it is, I'm gonna, you know, test myself, push myself, and aim to win.
2024 at heavyweight or not?
Maybe 2020, maybe end of 2023. I think for me, if I can unify middle of next year, maybe have a little dabble end of the year and then go in fully in 2024. I think, you know, right now, I'm a world champion at cruiserweight. And when I got up to heavyweight, I don't want to, you know, mess around in British, European. I want to go straight in against the best heavyweights there are. Of course, there's a transition and you have to respect the weight and respect the difference in style from heavyweight to cruiserweight. However, there's not many heavyweights I look at and say, that's an impossible fight. Like I don't look at any and say it's impossible. I think, oh, that one's a bit tougher than that one. But there's a lot of heavyweights I've sparred over the years. I know what it feels like to be in sparring, maybe not a fight, which is very different. But you know, like I said, I'm looking for the challenge. If I can beat my mandatory, beat a unification match, I kind of feel like I've done what I need to do at cruiserweight, and then it's time to see what I can do at heavy.
It's an amazing time to be at heavyweight. In the last minute I've got with you before this interview ends, what have you learnt about boxing life and yourself over the last 7-8 months?
Yeah, I think well, one of the main things I've learned is always back yourself, believe in yourself, and don't allow people and institutions to sort of bully you. And just know yourself. Like no matter what anyone says about you, no matter what anyone tweets, comments, says in interviews, know yourself and grow from there. So that's the main one. And outside of that, in terms of actual boxing, I think it's important for me to go through this period and then use what I've learned to help other boxers with the position that I'm going to be in and the money I'm going to make to help with legals, help with the way that boxing is actually treats fighters. I think it's important that I've got. Anyway, yeah, time's up.
Well, it is because the video is going to end. It's great to see you as always, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Great to speak to you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.